Hey everyone, welcome back to an episode of Explore with Kati. As part of the channel, I wanted to cover eating a little bit more sustainably. And as part of that, we're gonna talk a little bit about hunting, but not today. We're actually gonna work our way backwards and get to the good part of hunting, and that's eating the actual venison. Side note, I didn't put this whole bandana thing, Little House on the Prairie together because I'm making a recipe video. I just really didn't feel like combing my hair. It was the quickest thing I could do to contain it. Let's keep going. So we're gonna cook up some venison that we got last year. And I'm a little bit tired of stews. So I'm actually going to take a recipe from my childhood, carne guisada, which is a Puerto Rican recipe. It is also stewed meat, but it's got a little bit of a different flavor to it. So we're gonna take some of the venison, we're gonna make it into carne guisada, and we're gonna see how it comes out, because this is my first time doing this recipe. Hopefully it comes out good. We'll see. I'll give you the full review at the end of the episode. Yeah, so let's get started. First off, to make carne guisada, we need sofrito, which I don't have. You have to make it. For the sofrito, we're gonna need 1 cup of ají dulce. We don't have that, so we're replacing them with cubano peppers. Said it was a good substitute. 1 onion, small. 15 garlic cloves. 1 bunch of cilantro, olive oil, and a tablespoon of dried oregano. Okay, we gotta chop everything up and then put it in the blender, and then we'll have our sofrito for the carne guisada. Apologies beforehand, I am not a professional. Probably don't know how to hold a knife correctly. Y'all can tell me in the comments how disturbed you are by how I cook. Chopping these bad boys up. These are shaped kind of strangely. I want to get the seeds out since it's not supposed to be too spicy. Puerto Rican food isn't actually really that spicy at all. And you can just chop them kind of into chunks because they're gonna go in the blender anyway. And we need 1 cup of these. The recipe actually calls for 2. I'm only halving it because I don't need this much. Even the recipe for the carne guisada, I'm halving it because the venison I have is actually, it's 1.5 pounds-ish, and it calls for 2.5 pounds to 3 pounds of meat. Plus there's only 2 of us, just me and Drew. That's enough. I think that's probably closer to 2 cups, but it's fine. All right, next we need 1 onion. All right, next I'm going to need 30 garlic cloves, 15 garlic cloves. I guess I'll count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh God, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Wild. I've never used this much garlic for anything. All right, we just need to take the peels off of these. Brush. So I've got the peppers, the onion, the garlic, and then I need the cilantro, which is washed up in here because cilantro is usually kind of dirty. Then I'm gonna shove all this in here. I don't know if it's gonna fit. I might be pulling a Kati. Too much stuff in a little container. I'll just blend it up and then add more stuff as we go. 1/4 cup of olive oil. Okay, I just need 1/2 tablespoon of oregano. Now we blend. Yeah. That looks pretty decent right there. Put this to the side, and then we can start prepping all the stuff for the actual carne guisada. We are going to need venison. You can use beef, but for today we're using venison. Potatoes, carrots, beef broth, red wine vinegar, the sofrito that we just made, adobo, tomato paste, bay leaves, beef bouillon, an onion, Italian seasoning, sazon, and some dry red wine, and then salt, pepper, and olive oil. So now's the time where you open up your red wine, turn on some Vanderpump Rules, and cut up all the ingredients you need for this stew. I love doing this because he's got little hands and they go up when you put them in the cork. Whoa! It smells really good. Ugh, it's the like COVID reunion. I don't like it, but I never really liked the reunions. This is so much more potato than I need. Feels like baby amount of potatoes. All right. Also a half a cup of carrots sliced into thick rings. 1 medium onion, so half this onion. And then I'm gonna chop up the venison in 1/2-inch cubes. I'm gonna cut off a little bit of the sinewy white stuff so that hopefully it doesn't get all hard. We're done chopping. Time to sear the meat. First we gotta season it with some adobo. Now that this is nice and seasoned, we have to turn on the Instant Pot, which is where we're gonna cook this stuff, and sear it, and then we'll add our veggies. I'm going to put it on saute. So the original recipe actually calls for a Dutch oven, but I don't have one of those. So we're gonna try this in the Instant Pot and see how it comes out. Lots of little tweaks, you know, you never have everything you need, but we make do. So now that the beef is browned, I just added the half of a medium onion and 1/8 of a cup of the sofrito. Next, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of the sazon. So I'm just gonna grab one of those packets. Yeah, that's like basically it. The whole packet, because why not? Okay, next we need 1.5 teaspoon of the bouillon. 1.5. Next, we're gonna put in the whole box, actually half of the box of the beef broth. Actually, I'm just gonna put a little bit in first and then scrape the bottom of this pot. It's looking a lot better. That feels like half. Now that we've got that, let's add our red wine. I'm just gonna eyeball this because it says 1/3 cup, but I'm only doing half the recipe, so. Tomato paste, 1/4 cup there. I need 1.5 dried bay leaves, 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm just gonna let that come to a boil and then add the beef back in. The recipe, because it's supposed to be in a Dutch oven and not in an Instant Pot, it says to cover it, let it simmer, and sit there for 2 hours. We're not doing that. I just put it on meat/stew, and then I changed the pressure to low, and I changed the time to 15 minutes. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it comes out okay, but we'll check on it in 15. It's done. All right. It's just been keeping itself warm here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit cancel. Make sure the steam is out. We're good. Recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar. Beautiful. And I gotta check to see if these potatoes are tender, but I also wanna taste it. Wow. Wow. That's good. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Okay, I can't tell you, this is my 3rd attempt at wild game, just myself. It hasn't come out, I mean, it's come out okay. The first time did not. The first time was not good. The sauce was good, the meat was not. Actually, I haven't tried any of the meat yet, but this sauce is fire. Big props to Delish because I borrowed the recipe from them. I'm gonna get some rice. I had made some rice already. Putting it over rice because that's just how you do it. And then give it a little extra juice. Moment of truth. Let's see how it came out. That's hot. Oh my god, that's hot. All right, moment of truth, here we go. Wow. It's actually really tender. I was shocked. It tastes amazing. I already know that. The sauce is delicious. The meat came out really good. I think cooking it for 15 minutes was the way to go after we had browned the meat already. This is probably the best roast that I've made so far from venison. I would definitely highly recommend. 5 stars, 5 stars. All right, well, if you decide to make it, you can find the recipe in the description box below. And comment to let me know if you want to see more of these. I'm definitely going to try more of them. So see y'all next time. Bye.